Hey guys, I'm Abby Shart. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. So a while ago, I gave you a little bit of an update on some of my breastfeeding struggles. So if you missed this video, you can check it out right here. But here's a little recap for you. So back in that video, what I was discussing was that I was having some serious supply issues. So I had to go on DOMPERIDONE to up my breast milk supply so I could make enough to feed my son. We were also having a lot of latching issues because my son had a lip and a tongue tie. So we got that removed, but we still were definitely struggling with the breastfeeding. So as a result, we were trying to breastfeed pretty much every day, but ultimately I was mostly doing pumping. So that's where I was at that video, but I wanted to, of course, update you on all the changes that have since happened. I basically just gave up on breastfeeding altogether, and since then my son is being exclusively fed pumped milk. It became really exhausting to basically have to feed 3 different ways every single feed multiple times a day, because I was trying to breastfeed and then he would scream and then I'd give him the bottle and I'd feed him the bottle and then I'd have to pump and then I'd have to do that all day and night, and it was really interfering with my well-being and my ability to kind of get through every single day. The thought of having to do that for an entire year was like inconceivable. So most moms will probably agree that exclusively pumping is already so much work. It's absolutely exhausting. So throwing breastfeeding in the mix there was making me a miserable human being. I was also pumping like every single hour on the hour, so that was definitely getting exhaustive. But since then, my supply has steadied and I've actually been able to freeze quite a lot of breast milk. So to date, I have frozen over 40 liters of breast milk, and I'm very proud of my stash. So some of the things that I was doing was taking mother's milk supplements every day, blessed thistle supplements. I was also eating a lot of the boob foods that we've also talked about in the past. Whether or not they worked, I don't know. I was pumping constantly. I was pumping every hour on the hour at the beginning, and then I was able to drop to every 2 hours for a total of 9 pumps every single day. And I was taking DOMPERIDONE, which is a common drug often used to increase breast milk supply. And I was taking 12 pills every single day. So that was like a pretty high dose. And once I was able to kind of establish a good amount of supply on that and doing all of those things, I was able to make my life a little bit more manageable. And for me, that really started with getting off the DOMPERIDONE. So once I was holding steady at producing enough breast milk, I started to drop my DOMPERIDONE pills. So the regime was basically dropping 1 pill of DOMPERIDONE every week, very slowly, so that my supply would not plummet. And then amazingly, after a few months, I was able to completely get off the drugs, and that was a really exciting day. And then my next goal was, of course, to start to drop the pumps. So from 9 pumps a day, which was really exhausting and excessive, I was able to get down to 8 pumps a day. And then from 8 pumps a day, I was able to get to 7 pumps a day a few weeks later. So after holding steady at like 7 pumps, this whole period where I was getting off the DOMPERIDONE and just dropping pumps, I started to get a lot of blocked ducts. And these blocked ducts are painful in their own right, but 4 times I got mastitis from them. And if you don't know what mastitis is, count your lucky stars, but basically it's the inflammation and an infection of the milk ducts. And it can cause fever, it can cause exhaustion, a lot of breast pain, and of course a drop in supply because you're having these milk ducts get really clogged up. And I had it 4 times. It was brutal. And I did everything that, you read about online and all the moms tell you to do. So cabbage in your bra and like crazy massages. And I was having hot showers every hour and like dipping my boobs into like a hot bath on all 4s. It was not fun. So this past weekend, I just kind of felt like enough was enough. I was dealing with the worst case of blocked ducts I've had since I gave birth. It literally felt like I had a million little knots in both breasts. I wasn't getting any milk out. I was totally miserable. It was so painful. And I kind of just felt like, should I give up? Is this the end of my breastfeeding and pumping journey? Do I just throw in the towel right now? I was sitting in the bath on Friday night just crying. I couldn't even get myself out of the bath to just feed my son and move on. And I wanted to have a nice night with my husband, but I just felt so down on myself. Like I really let myself down on this. So the next morning, I had a lactation consultant come over to my house to try to relieve me of these blockages. And even she couldn't get them out. But what she did do was recommend that I go up in size in the flange, the piece that goes on my breast pump. And that actually made a world of a difference. Instantly, as soon as I tried it, thank you Amazon Prime for sending it so quickly, but as soon as I tried it, I started to feel the blockages coming out. And I was starting to get more milk out in each and every pump. So pumping mamas, if you are constantly getting blocked ducts or mastitis, maybe consider getting your flange size reevaluated. I had no idea that this was going to make that kind of difference. Also, what I did yesterday was I went to see an acupuncturist who specializes in kind of milk ducts and mastitis. And not only did we do some acupuncture, but she also did some like manual manipulation, which was brutally painful. Imagine having your nipple, like a purple nipple, twisted for an hour. That's what it felt like. But it actually really worked. And I think I am on the mend. So guys, I'm really hoping that making some of these changes are going to help me in keeping this going so that I can hopefully drop another pump or two in the next few months. And maybe, just maybe, I will be able to sleep through the night before my son turns 1. That is my life goal right now. So mamas, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give me the thumbs up. Please give me some support. Thank you guys for your support on social media when I complain about all these issues. I would love to hear from you in your breastfeeding journeys. What does your journey look like? What have you found to increase your supply? Have you had chronic blocked ducts and mastitis? I would love to hear what has worked well for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye.